first question for Khabib. Khabib, obviously this is going to be, right here, it's going to be an incredibly competitive fight, but what do you consider to be the most dangerous thing about Dustin?
Like most dangerous things, Dustin, I think his experience, he has good experience, and he has more than 20 fights in UFC, you know, someone beat him, and he beat someone, you know, this is experience, you know, and but I respect him like human, like fighter, you know, he beat a lot of tough guys. Last fight he impressed me on his boxing, he had good moment, and you know, that's why this fight is so big, you know. He's become interim UFC lightweight champion for a reason. He beat Max Holloway, he beat a lot of former champions, and but for me, everything is same. You know, nothing changed. When cage closed, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep forward.
And just one question for Dustin. Obviously, you have been in the octagon much more recently than Khabib has. Do you consider that to be a factor at all? Do you think the fact that you're maybe fresher is going to play a role in this fight, or do you not think it's going to make much of a difference?
That's such a hard question to answer because everybody's different. I don't know, you know, he might pick up right where he left off. It's on him. I can't get into his head and feel how he's feeling, so I don't know about that. But he's got a lot of experience in the UFC. He got a lot of fights on his record, so I believe he's going to start off as how he left off. You know, I don't think he's going to there's any ring rust there.
This question for Dustin. Given that the goal of the undisputed world title has been what you've been chasing for your whole career, are you kind of talking to yourself now and saying, you know, live in the moment, enjoy each step on the course of this fight now?
Of course. You know, I've said it before, this here is a piece of the world title. That over there is the world title. And I just want to do the most in training camp and the most of my life to prepare myself to be ready for that moment. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just enjoying the journey. It's been a lot of fights, a long road, ups and downs. But now we're at the pinnacle. You know, headlining the show in Abu Dhabi against an undefeated guy. I'm just excited for the opportunity, excited to show the world what I'm capable of. And that's it. I just want to represent myself and the work that I put into the sport on September 7th.
Have you mapped out how long you're going to take to go and acclimatise over there in Abu Dhabi? And do you feel that the intense temperature may be a factor in the fight? Because both of you have really grueling styles.
We'll see. I think I'm going to go there around 2 weeks, maybe 10 days early, just to get used to the air and the time change. But the heat, I'm not so worried about. We'll be all right.
And just a question for Khabib as well. Obviously, building up to each fight, everyone's talked about how impressive of a grappler you are, best grappler in the sport. But you've shown in numerous fights how dangerous your striking is. And Dustin, in my eyes, is the most attractive fighter to watch in the stand-up game in the lightweight division. Isn't that an element of your game, wanting to test yourself on the feet with Dustin a bit more in this fight?
Like, I test myself with one of the best strikers in the world, you know, like Edson Barboza, Michael Johnson, Conor, like, they're all very good strikers. I think half of them already finished Dustin, you know. They're very good fighters, I think. What do you think? And I already test myself, you know. I fight with a lot of good strikers, and Dustin one of them. And of course, I'm gonna fight with him in stand-up too. You know, this is not wrestling match or grappling matchup. This is MMA. But my box is not bad too. You know, like I have a lot of fight in my career, like in amateur, professional. You know, like all my life I'm fighting, but I don't remember like someone catch me. You know, I respect his game, I respect his box, but like September 7th, I have to do my job, like always.
Question for Khabib, down the front here. Right, the build-up to this one is already very, very different to the build-up to your previous fight. How much do you prefer this kind of build-up compared to the build-up that you had for the Conor fight and all of the trash talk and everything that was going back and forth? Is this much more your preference?
Like, if my opponents talk trash or they didn't talk, nothing changed. No, this is not my job, this is my opponent's job. They wanna talk or they wanna fight. But I know, like, finally cage gonna close, and this is my most important job, you know. And like, what different about like last fight and this fight? This fight is a little bit different, and because for this fight I have to find big motivation, because this is not a big fight like with Conor, but for me it's like second title defense, and you know, it's like he's my opponent. I have to keep building my legacy and I have to keep going, but right now my opponent is Dustin, and I'm preparing for this fight like I'm gonna have hardest fight in my life, and I can't wait, you know, like September 7th is gonna be big night for me, for my legacy, I think, for Dustin too.